PowerDrift. It's year 2023, and if you're thinking about buying a sports car like this one here, by all means, please go ahead. Don't wonder whether we can be driving it, whether we have the roads for it or not. It's a myth. You can really drive them around.
But I feel you need to be prepared to be stared at, because as you're finding out, people are dropping their jaws, almost crashing their scooters and breaking their necks just to get a second look at what you and I are driving today.
And what are we driving today? It's a long name, but I'll say it anyways. It's the Porsche 718 Amen GT4 RS. Let's get it.
Stone what it likes. The freak man won't change. Only thing you do right is the competition for dinner.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That's a sports car. This car is a compact SUV of sports cars. It's no longer than a Volkswagen Virtus. It's actually not even wider than the Hyundai Tucson. And so in that sense, it is so manageable, so agile, that you'll be having great fun with this in our cities. Of course, driving it on the highway, that's going to be a whole different story, because then you can engage and indulge in what I call as highway hollering.
Now, it's time for this. Now the GT4 RS, it gets the engine from the GT3, which means it revs the 9,000 RPM. Now when you're done pushing the car, and by pushing, of course, I mean pushing it to the speed limit, of course, you can actually take it pretty chill. Even the engine and gearbox, they are so beautifully matched to each other that right now I'm doing 60 kilometers per hour at 1500 RPM and in 7th gear, and this is relaxed. It is really, truly the best of both worlds.
When you, I, or anyone is looking at the GT4 RS standing still like this or plying on the roads, what we most probably are going to be distracted with is the bright, sharp blue paint here. But then what our eyeballs are mostly going to be glued on is the carbon fiber bits and pieces, starting with the huge, humongous, swan neck-like GT3 spoiler out here that you can't take your eyes off, and that one which transforms the back of the Cayman entirely. And then look down below, and then you have a bigger diffuser, 2 titanium exhaust tips. What everyone will be looking at when they look at GT4 RS, folks, is perhaps one of the greatest sports cars of our era. Over here to the side, you see a carbon fiber vent that is meant for engine cooling. Remember, folks, the engine is not at the back like in the 911. It sits right here in the middle. It's a midship sports car. And when you turn around, you have more vents, like the vent here above the front wheel arch, which is supposed to reduce lift. Walking further forward is going to be the beautiful, beautiful bonnet carrying the Porsche insignia. But then the bonnet in its entirety is also carbon fiber.
And if you're really committed to taking in all the details of this, get down on your knees as if you're praying to the Porsche gods. And here you will see, away from everyone's line of sight, channels that guide airflow underneath the car. Up front and at the back, you have massive carbon ceramic discs that bring this to a stop every single time without fade. Stand up and get ready to pray again, because like Rohan said, this is a mid-engine sports car. The engine is sharing the cabin with you, so replacing the quarter glass that you see on a standard 718 are these air intakes, and what that means is you get a pure, raw, surround sound induction sound of flat 6 symphony. But the fact is that everything we've been doing with the GT4 RS up to this point, taking it on the highway, driving it in the city, even looking at it here standing still, is blasphemy. You do know what I mean, right?
All yours. Go for it.
This is what this car was made to do. It's a fantastic piece of road, this. It's tight, it's technical in places, and it's just got so much character. And of course, the GT4 RS was honed on a road very much like this. But honestly, it's this engine that really comes into its element here. You realize that this engine actually has two sides to it. One below 5,000 RPM where it's very linear and tame. If you don't respect it past 6,000 RPM, it will bite your hand off. But if you respect it, oh baby, oh my God! But you know what? I'd forgive it even if it wasn't perfect. I'd forgive it even if it just had 100 horsepower. I'd forgive it even if it murdered me and took all of my money. Because of just one thing and one thing only. The sound. Because of these intakes right here, it's like listening to Pink Floyd all your life on Spotify and a small Chinese speaker and then getting to go for a live concert. Actually, you know what? It's better than that. It's like getting to have Pink Floyd play right there in your bedroom and respond to each one of your fingers' movements. Unreal. What a car, what a road, what an engine, what an experience.
Now you understand the plan of taking over the planet. Never gonna be taking it back, you know what has to happen.
The GT4 RS really is so much more than just numbers and figures. It's a celebration of horsepower, of high revving petrol engines, of light, driver-focused sports cars. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe Porsche finds some way to make an electric car touch your soul. But today, we have this. And I have this for just a couple more hours. And I'm not wasting any more time talking.